Hello, fellow Minecraft addicts. Jarbo here. Just to let you know what this is a world in Java using the Create mod, and more specifically, the Create mod pack put together by Foxy No Tail. It's absolutely amazing. It does everything that you've ever wanted Minecraft to do for you, especially if you're a technical player and you like farms and things like that. It just adds so much ability to what you can build for farms. I'm really excited. But what I'm not excited for is the beginning grind, getting all of our beginning gear, we'll probably try to get some iron and get a few blocks and start getting ready to create contraptions. And I'm going to go ahead and get through that whole process, and I will meet you wherever we're going to build our beginning workshop, where it's going to be like our little hobbyist workshop where we can put together the components that we need to create contraptions that will do the things that we need to do in the world for us. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. It's going to be probably a while for me, but it should just be a few seconds for you. I'll catch you on the other side. Well, in our travels, we came across this little tavern out here in the middle of the savannah, and Adrian, the keep here, said he doesn't mind if we set up shop here while we get our life in order and get all of our things that we need to move on. He also didn't mind if we took down this wall and made this a double room instead of just two separate rooms. But in exchange for our stay here, we are going to breed up and maintain his little cow pen over here. But I already asked him, and he doesn't mind if we make this cow pen just a little bit bigger. So we're going to do that. And then we also have, I don't know if you see the mountains over there, where we can go to get lots of coal and lots of iron, while we get all the basic things we need to start preparing to move and build our beginning workshop. I did find a few things while we were out running around. I found an anvil, an andesite. Andesite is the hardest thing to come by in the Create mod, I think. One of the hardest things to come by. It's just not, it doesn't generate naturally like it does in vanilla Minecraft. It's removed. So I found an old ratty looking tower up there on the mountain that had some andesite in it. So I went ahead and got that. So the first thing we're going to do after we expand the cow pen out there is we are going to set up some type of tree farm to get us lots of wood, because we're going to need that for some of our basic building blocks, and it can be automated fairly easy, and I think we have enough andesite to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and go feed the cows and then start getting ready to build some type of automatic wood farm. I guess we're using acacia because that's what we have here pretty much everywhere. So something I forgot about when we were making our contraption, I started making all the components for it here, and we need some way to stick it together, and slime or slime balls is how you make the glue. The problem is I haven't gone mining yet. I haven't really gone exploring in the caves yet, so I don't have any slime. I don't know where any slime chunks are, or I don't know where I can even get slime. But fortunately, you can make slime. And to make slime, you need to have green dye. We'll open this up and we'll do slime. So you can make it in the mixer with green dye and dough. Dough you can make in the mixer with wheat flour and flour. Wheat flour you can get from crushing or milling wheat, which is, we have a mill, so we can mill wheat. We have plenty of wheat, so we can get the wheat flour. But the only thing that you can get lime dye from, obviously you can, if you had cactus, you could craft it, but I don't have cactus. Sea pickles in the furnace, but we could mix white dye and green dye together. That doesn't work. We can crush. We don't have any way to crush. That's smelting still. So here we could mill any of these flours into lime dye. So I went on exploring for 2 days looking for some of these flowers. I found wild onions, but I don't know how you pick them up. You must, maybe silk touch is how you pick up wild onion flowers, but I couldn't get any of those. I found wild carrots. It's on here as well, but I also only got carrots back. I didn't get the flower. I couldn't find any tulips, but I did finally find a warm ocean, and I found sea pickles. So I grabbed a stack of those. So now we can mill our sea pickles, mill our wheat, make our dough, and then mix our lime dye and dough together and finally get some super glue. And then we can build our first contraption, which is just going to be a simple little log cutter. And we did, fortunately, while we were exploring, we found some iron golem backpacks, and I found some oak saplings, so we can make oak trees instead of acacia trees. I just feel like that's going to be a more palatable block, the oak wood, rather than the, I don't like either of them, but I like oak better. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the milling all done and make my super glue, and then we'll go out and set up our first contraption, just a quick and dirty little tree farm that has to be planted manually, because we don't have any way to plant anything automatically yet, because we haven't been to the Nether and we're not ready to go. So give me just a minute and I'll be right back. There we go. There is our first contraption. No idea if it's going to line up with all the saplings or not, but we can adjust that as we need to. It was, I mean, the hardest part, the longest part of this whole process was finding the stuff to make the slime balls so that we could glue the chest and the saws on there. I don't know, the linear chassis, sometimes it picks the saw up, sometimes it doesn't, but we had the slime balls. So, and with this stuff, if you just click it, you can see it turns sticky, and you don't have to actually have super glue when you're using the linear chassis. Now if we had super glue, we could just use probably any block to make the frame out of, and it would work just fine. But we're gonna let this run while we go and start planning out our next build, which I think is gonna be, oh, we get to see it go, which will be and it all just goes right there in the chest. That's awesome. That's the best way to get wood right there. That's amazing. Now we're going to do the same thing, or a similar thing, but we're going to use harvesters instead, and we are going to start getting us some wheat. I'm going to get that set up, and I'll show you how that works. I don't think Adrian trusts me to take care of the cows. Could have been maybe a creeper incident, but we're not going to talk about that. One other thing that I do want to show you guys is, yeah, this has the carry-on mod, so that makes that a lot easier. I think I fixed it so we can't get back in here. But let's go take a look at what we've got going on over here. We've got both our tree farm and our crop farm set up. Let me get up here where we can see better. Yeah, so the crop farm's a little bit smaller. It takes more resources to make those harvesters than it does the saws. The crop farm, the harvesters will replant what they harvest, and they'll only harvest planted crops or fully grown crops. But the tree farm, we have to manually go replant that every now and then. We've got quite a bit. It's kind of a little bit of a challenge to clean it out, but I've figured out a method. You just walk right out here and get on it, and then you can write it. So yeah, we've got, and I've already taken one full stack out of here, so we've already got almost 5 full stacks of logs, and obviously enough saplings to replant it. I put this fence around here so I could see exactly where I needed to plant the saplings, but I'm going to head down and start doing some mining. It's time to try to get our gear all set up. I'd like to, if I could, have fully enchanted diamond gear when I leave here, but I don't know that that's going to happen. We're not going to do any villager trading here, so it won't have mending or any of that stuff. It'll just be whatever we can get out of an enchanting table. And then we also need to go to the Nether. I haven't decided if I'm doing that here, or if I'm going to do that wherever we decide to go in the long run. But these cows start to get hard to breed when there becomes a lot of them. So I'm going to take care of the mine, and I think this is actually where I'm going to wrap this episode up. I mean, we've got our first create contraptions. I'll keep the saplings planted on this one, and as we get more harvested stuff, I've got a few different types of crops in there. I think there's some tomatoes, and there's some cabbage and carrots and wheat and whatever I had in my inventory. That's what I threw in there. So I'll get this fully planted, and then once I do, I'm just gonna dig a 2x2 hole with a whole bunch of ladders straight down to bedrock. Actually, not quite to bedrock, and just go mining. I'm mostly looking for diamonds because, like I said, I want to try to get fully enchanted diamond gear. At least get some decent tools and maybe some just plain diamond armor. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and then once we get done with that, it will be time to pack all this up, tear it all back down, and head to our new location, which I haven't figured out where it's going to be yet, to set up our hobbyist shop where we're going to build our create components to really start doing some stuff automatically in this world. Hope you guys have enjoyed.